A leaked report recommending ANC Secretary-General Ace Magashule step down is not urgent enough to warrant a special NEC meeting. Now that's according to the governing ANC. Its Integrity Commission report advises Magashule to vacate his office immediately, and it's scathing in its criticism of the ANC NEC. Govan Whittles reports.
The Integrity Commission says the ANC NEC appears to be scared to act against Ace Magashule and avoids implementing its resolutions. The ANC has condemned the report being leaked and says it won't comment on its recommendations.
We will actually call on members of the ANC and everyone else who occupies a position of responsibility in the movement to desist from leaking information that might otherwise sponsor divisions in the organization.
Despite the report calling for Magashule's immediate suspension if he refuses to step aside, the ANC says there's no rush to convene a special NEC meeting to discuss it.
It's not going to be new ways of doing things in the ANC because there is what you believe is a leaked report out there, then the ANC must suddenly know. People must now prepare themselves for festive. It's Christmas time. They must wear their masks, social distance, avoid larger crowds. These are things that we are now seized with.
The Integrity Commission is already under attack by the Mkonto Wesizwe Military Veterans Association, which accuses it of being influenced by an ANC faction that wants Magashule gone.
They influence the decision within the Integrity Commission, so they've tainted the outcome of that important commission. If they have listened to us, that let them postpone first testing, deal with those comrades that were complaining about.
And despite expectations, one analyst doesn't believe this report will change anything.
The corruption in the ANC for both factions is interconnected. And so we need to be very skeptical that ACE might not go down alone.
South Africans will be watching the NEC closely to see what it does with this report, and the ANC may just feel the real headache after the local government elections. Govan Whittles, Johannesburg.
Now, at the same time, the party's Integrity Commission in KwaZulu-Natal has given former eThekwini Mayor Zandile Gumede the green light to return to her positions in the ANC and the provincial legislature. Now, Gumede is one of the ANC leaders who was asked to present herself before the Provincial Integrity Commission. She's facing corruption and money laundering charges. The matter relates to the controversial Durban solid waste tender. Now, earlier this year, Gumede was granted 50,000 rand bail. She's due back in court in February.
A PEC meeting on Monday where we received the report of the Integrity Committee. As you are aware that Comrade Zandile had appeared in the Integrity Committee as early as October. So in their engagement and their conclusion, they found that one, they welcomed her appearance and she was open in her engagement with them. Secondly, they took into cognizance that her case has been in court now for almost more than a year without any conclusivity. That based on their engagement with her as the Integrity Committee, they are of the view that her membership of the ANC Regional Task Team in eThekwini and her membership of the Provincial Legislature be reinstated. This, of course, will be determined as we move forward by the court case, if it moves and if any other way how it concludes as it will proceed, whenever it will proceed.
Well, for more on this, I'm joined now by political analyst Levy Ndou. Levy, good evening. Thank you so much for your time. So, yes, this report was leaked. And the ANC's PULE MABE is saying, can you just allow the process to unfold? Because it now has to go to the NEC. They then have to consider what is in it and what to do. Do you think that's right, that the ANC allows process? Because at the same time, they're not disputing what the report has found. And the report has been very clear. It's drawn everything back to that resolution that if a member is charged with a serious crime, they should step aside.
Good evening to the viewers at home. Thank you so much for having me. I think it's important to note and understand the processes within the party. And it's a bit disturbing now that you have got documents or the report that is actually leaked. but you don't need a lot of technicalities to understand what has been going on with the Integrity Commission vis-a-vis the resolution of the ANC. Because the resolution of the ANC is unambiguous. It is very clear in relation to what happens with members who are charged with corruption. So whether the report is leaked or not is neither here or there, but everybody expected what is actually indicated in the commission. What is then left is for the ANC or the leadership of the ANC to relook at the report and then decide on the next step that has to be taken by the party.
Do you think the party is just wanting to make this next year's problem? They just don't have capacity to actually sit and consider what to do, and they're going, let's just kick the can down the road a little more?
South Africa is anxious to see what action the ANC has to take. And because we're dealing with a leaked report, this report has to be formally presented to the ANC, and of course the ANC has to decide. Another aspect for me that is bringing this level of anxiety is the fact that you need ANC leaders to understand their resolutions and their agreements and honor them. For me, there was no need for the Integrity Commission to sit. For me, there was no need to have another discussion, because the resolution of the ANC in relation to corruption and those that are implicated in corruption is quite very clear.
So it is very clear, and that is exactly what the leaked report indicates. It's a short report, it's very, very clear, and also points to the fact that this prevarication around the issue is not making the ANC look very good. But then when we go to KwaZulu-Natal, the former eThekwini Mayor, Zandile Gumede, who's also facing corruption charges, and she is currently out on bail, the reasoning there seems to be, well, she's waited too long to go to trial. Do you think that's a good point, actually?
Well, for me, it is not. If the ANC is a party that is serious to fight against corruption, it would actually be very, it will allow processes to run with whatever time that they take, and they should be very, very patient and wait for such processes. The unfortunate part that we have in the ANC is the level of lack of discipline, the issue that relates to integrity, and the issue that relates to good governance. That is something that is quite lacking. Coupled with that is the slow pace of the ANC to take decisions and also to implement its own resolutions. And if you have the report of the Integrity Commission on Ace Makhashule released today, and on the same day you have KwaZulu-Natal reinstating Zandile Gumede, this then creates an element of confusion within the party. And that's why we say it's important for these structures of the ANC to be very consistent and treat all members equally, and at the same time follow its own rules and regulations.
Well, thank you so much for your time. We really do appreciate it. That was political analyst Levy Ndou.